So let's begin today's show by talking about this Wade Barrett Nikki Bella situation. It began on the Clash in Paris pre-show where Wade Barrett said this.
For me, Nikki Bella is someone I went through the developmental system with. I think she's fantastic. She was absolutely, for my money, the best of her era and did everything she could have possibly done. However, she is now trying to recapture former glories. When you talk about desperate, to me, the desperate one is Nikki Bella in this situation. Desperate to prove she still has it against this new generation that have changed the game.
Well, Wade Barrett, you look your age. Nikki Bella.
The news then came out that Wade Barrett will be off the road going forward, not calling Raw or SmackDown. A lot of people automatically assuming it was a direct response to his comments about Nikki Bella. This also being coupled with the news that Michael Cole and Corey Graves will now be the commentary duo for both Raw and SmackDown. Which, I don't hate Michael Cole and Corey Graves together, I just think recently Michael Cole has been showing signs of CT amnesia. His multiple wrong calls and lack of move knowledge nowadays, specifically in last Friday's Zayn Cena match, makes me wonder if this is really the right move. But thankfully, Wade Barrett would confirm that his absence is not permanent, nor is it long term. He said, quote, "I usually ignore BS reports like this, but it's causing needless hate to be spewed towards people I work with. WWE have kindly given me a couple of weeks off for personal time, booked 9 months ago, and then I'm back to business as usual." For as much as I am a big Bella Twins fan, I don't think any of this warranted the reaction it got. Nikki herself also responded to Wade Barrett by saying the following, quote, "Lol, yes, great news. Sorry, been off X this week. Thank you, Stu. This all has been so wild. Sorry for not coming to you first before chatting with Brie on the pod. Was not expecting any of this. You know how much love I have for you and loved our chat. So excited for you. Enjoy that well-deserved time off." Speaking of Nikki Bella, she also tweeted a photo of Brie Bella and Paige and said, "One can dream." To which I say, yeah, it's me, I'm dreaming. AJ Styles recently took to his Instagram to post a sand timer with his logo, clearly implying that time is running out. Sources close to AJ Styles have indicated that his contract extension with WWE is up around February of 2026, which would have him expiring after the Royal Rumble and before WrestleMania. Styles has long discussed the possibility of retirement, but hasn't mentioned it much lately, which led to a ton of speculation about his future, whether it was him retiring or perhaps considering the ultimate move to AEW next year. There's a myriad of final dream matches for the phenomenal one to have over there, so it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility. Though since coming to WWE, AJ Styles has been incredibly loyal. Although many have noted it would be disappointing if not only we didn't get a final Cena match, but we also have Styles' final Mania match be against Logan Paul. Then, from one AJ to another, it was revealed that AJ Lee has signed a multi-year full-time deal with WWE. So this won't be just sporadic appearances, nor will it only be WrestlePalooza. AJ is back. Which is incredibly exciting, and there are so many dream matches and moments for her to have in this run. The women's division 10 years ago wasn't nearly as advanced as it is now, although it's important to remember AJ can go. Her matches with Naomi, the Bellas, Paige, Caitlyn, and others proved that she had a bag, even in the late Divas division.
Hello! Can I wear this on air? Is that cool?
You can wear that, yeah. So excited.
Thank you.
Ready?
I'm excited. I am.
Let's do it. Want to do the honors first?
Alrighty.
10 long years. It's a hell of a moment.
Thanks for letting me know.
Thank you for trusting us.
Thanks for having me.
It's going to be awesome. Excited?
I am. I keep saying I'm a little disassociated from my body, but that's just like how I process things. Yeah. I get real quiet.
And now we have come so far in this decade since she last wrestled, including the introduction of all these new match types and new titles that women didn't have before. Like the last time AJ wrestled on WWE TV, there was no women's Money in the Bank, no women's Royal Rumble. Women obviously weren't getting nearly enough time to showcase what they can do. Even in those later matches, they were very much buried in, ironically enough, CM Punk chants.
Oh, and look look at this. Nikki under those triple threat rules.
Man, Nikki's chin right on the top of AJ's head. That hurt him.
You had commentators like Jerry Lawler being a creep on commentary and talking about anything but the women wrestling.
I have the date I won this title tattooed on the back of my neck. This is all I care about.
Any other tattoos?
And
I think I'm a little too old for you, Jerry. I'm 26. I know you like him younger.
here's the cover, a shoulders down, and a
Attention hungry.
You're a
I
little
didn't
too
say it
ugly
for
for me, too, but
attention.
that's okay.
I didn't say what I said to piss
But
him.
it'll be interesting to see, in all honesty, if she can keep up with the Asukas, Stephanie Vaquers, and Charlotte Flairs of the division. It was also reported that AJ Lee's return was a curtain sellout, meaning many wrestlers were watching for themselves. Completely understandable, in all honesty. This is the kind of moment you have to soak in. Then, Bryan Danielson says he doesn't have a single thing left on his wrestling bucket list.
But is there anything else that's left on the bucket list for you to complete?
No, not a single thing. There's not a single thing. It's like you know, I've been very fortunate in my career to have some incredible moments and all that kind of stuff. And I think, you know, when I was forced to retire before, I wasn't ready to be done. With the last 6 months of my wrestling career being in as much pain as I was, like that kind of put me in this thing of like, okay, you know what? I think I'm ready to be done. And now I have, like, when I was forced to retire before, I was married, but we didn't have kids yet, right? And so it's like, okay, you go home and you have that full parenting life and all that kind of stuff. It's like it's a whole nother thing, right? And so it's, you know, and so yeah, I'm very fulfilled by my career. I'm very fulfilled by my life right now, you know. And I get to stay involved in professional wrestling, which is something that I still love to this day.
Which is understandable. He has done basically everything and then some, especially in this second run since he came back from retirement, and particularly since moving over to AEW. He seems very satisfied in calling it a career, and the only thing left would be some kind of Hall of Fame induction, whether that's in WWE someday, or if AEW begins their own, then in theirs. It was revealed recently that Bryan will be joining the AEW commentary team on a full-time basis going forward, which is a super smart decision because Bryan is the perfect mix between entertaining and incredibly knowledgeable. But did you know that Bryan Danielson going to AEW very nearly didn't happen? Bryan recently recalled a conversation with Vince McMahon back in 2021 before making the jump.
When WWE found out that I hadn't signed yet, they had actually, they said, is there anything we can do to make it? Because I called, if that was, what is today, September 5th?
Yeah, 5th of September.
Okay, so I called Vince in early August and let him, because, you know, I was going back and forth. I wasn't sure, you know.
And it was just out of the Thunderdome era, wasn't it?
Yeah. And so I had called Vince in the, because he and I had a really good relationship. I called him in early August and let him know, okay, I made my decision and I'm going to do this, right? And then he had called me like one time kind of in the meantime and said like, hey, what if we offered you this instead, right? You know, that sort of thing. Maybe I hadn't signed my contract yet. It was like a couple, maybe 5 days before the pay-per-view. And he called me and I mean, and this is just what I told him. I said, sir, I've already agreed to this thing. And if I was somebody to go back on this, like, I feel like you have a decent amount of respect for me. Would you still respect me if I, like, one of the things that you respect about me is that I honor my word, right? And so, you know, but it was a great conversation. And he said, damn it, you're right. Right? And so it's just like,
you love doing that voice.
Yeah.
For as much as I think AEW would have been fine if the likes of Danielson, Cope, Cole, or Punk never went, it is interesting to think about that timeline where they never went there and where AEW would be now. Also, quick programming note, I am very aware that I'm a few episodes behind on WWE LFG. I will be catching up this week, and also somehow I've seen no spoilers, so we're good. Although, if you at home thought I was boycotting the series because of the mistreatment of Xena Sterling, you get a bonus point. Then, in TKO has gone too far news, the most expensive package for WrestleMania 42 next year comes in at nearly $40,000. $5. It includes floor seats for both days, a WrestleMania entrance opportunity, and photo ops. But as I've already said, for that kind of money, I don't just want to walk down the ramp at WrestleMania, I want to be the main event. And the crazy thing about the soaring ticket prices is that Nick Khan himself agrees they're a little insane.
Excuse me? Are you Nick Khan?
Yes, sir.
You are, sir?
Yeah.
I'm a huge WWE fan.
Did you go to the Wyatt?
Yes, I did. I was actually second man. Is it okay if I record? I'm live on Twitch. Okay, yeah, that's cool. No problem.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to meet you, though, man. Loving the product right now, everything that's going on. Looking forward to the ESPN and everything. You guys are doing a great job.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to be honest, though. The prices are a little crazy, but it's great. It's great.
They're too cheap, you're saying?
No, they're a little too steep. At least for me. That's just me. That's just me. But I still love the product, man. I've been watching for years, so thank you for everything you do, man, and everything. And the Wyatt Six Nays, that was great. That was really great. So Bray Wyatt would definitely be proud, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much. Oh, sorry.
This, a recent video of a WWE fan meeting Nick Khan at Universal Studios and getting a first-hand account. He says he understands, but will things change? No. Then I have to share this video of Blake Monroe being serenaded by some fans down in NXT.
Beautiful. Scrumptious. Glamorous. Somebody made the lose.
You know, you man, it would be a red card, but thankfully it's Snow Bunny season right now. So fellas, let the bunnies reign. Then, WWE SmackDown ring announcer Mark Nash thanked John Cena after Cena's final appearance on SmackDown. He said, quote, "The past couple of months, having the privilege of introducing the greatest of all time, the never seen 17 on Friday Night SmackDown has truly been an honor. Thank you." A huge shout out to Mark Nash. He has been one of my favorite new hires that the company has made. When you think about the grandiose intro of John Cena's final run, you're gonna think of Mark's voice. In a very similar manner to how you think of Samantha Irvin for Roman Reigns or Cody Rhodes. I actually hope he gets to do the intro for Cena's final match too. Then, Chris Jericho recently commented on a potential WWE return again.
The best thing that can happen in wrestling is AEW, and the fact that there's two huge promotions that you can choose from just makes it better for the guys, it makes it better for the fans and everybody in between. So I'm not going anywhere for a while. I'm still with AEW for right now. Would I go back to WWE? I wouldn't be opposed to it. We'll just have to see what happens. But the best thing that can happen is you have two great teams that you can play for, and that just makes everything bigger and more exciting.
Then, Tiffany Stratton commented on the fact being a heel is much easier than being a babyface, and that she is still adjusting.
I think being a heel is 10 times easier than being a babyface because you can mess up and you can fall on your butt and, you know, like that's totally fine as a heel. However, as a babyface, if you do that, like the crowd could turn on you or you could get booed and, you know, you're supposed to be like the face of the company and stuff like that. So being a heel for me is how I learned wrestling. I feel like I was a heel right off the bat. So that's why it comes so easy to me. And, you know, I'm still learning to like be a babyface and be likable and not have so much stank on what I say in my promos. So, so it definitely comes more natural for me to be a heel. However, you know, bear with me. We're learning. Maybe one day I'll just go back to being a heel. But for now, we're a little old babyface Tiffy.
In the kindest way possible. I still stand on the opinion that her being a heel was way better and it makes way more sense for her character.